The story of the 2008 financial crisis begins not with a crash, but with a party. In the early 2000s, the U.S. economy was booming, interest rates were historically low, and confidence was sky high. For decades, the American housing market was viewed as the safest investment you could possibly make. The general belief was simple: real estate prices only go up. Because of this, everyone wanted a piece of the action. Banks were eager to hand out loans because they could sell those loans to Wall Street for a quick profit. But eventually, the banks ran out of qualified borrowers, people with good credit and steady jobs. Instead of slowing down, they simply lowered their standards. They created what were known as subprime mortgages. We saw the rise of predatory lending practices, including loans where borrowers didn't even have to prove they had an income or a job. These were risky bets, but in the heat of the moment, nobody seemed to care. Wall Street took these thousands of risky mortgages and bundled them together into complex financial products. By mixing a few good loans with a massive amount of bad ones, they created securities that looked safe on paper. Credit rating agencies, who were paid by the very banks they were rating, stamped these bundles with top-tier AAA ratings. Investors around the world, from pension funds to foreign governments, bought them up, believing they were as safe as cash. The entire global financial system was essentially betting trillions of dollars on the idea that homeowners who couldn't afford their mortgages would somehow keep paying them. But in 2006, the music stopped. Housing prices peaked and began to fall. At the same time, the introductory low interest rates on those subprime loans expired, causing monthly payments to skyrocket for struggling families. Suddenly, millions of Americans owed more on their homes than the homes were actually worth. Defaults swept across the country like a wildfire. Because these mortgages were bundled into investments held by almost every major financial institution, the contagion spread instantly. Banks stopped trusting each other. They didn't know who was holding the toxic debt, so they stopped lending money entirely. The credit markets, which are the lifeblood of the global economy, froze. The crisis reached its breaking point in September 2008 when Lehman Brothers, one of the oldest and largest investment banks in the world, filed for bankruptcy. It was a shock that sent the stock market into a free fall. To prevent a total collapse of the global economy, the U.S. government and the Federal Reserve stepped in with unprecedented bailouts and monetary stimulus. While the bailouts saved the banking system, the cost to the real economy was devastating. $19 trillion in household wealth evaporated. Nearly 9 million Americans lost their jobs, and millions more lost their homes. It remains a stark reminder of what happens when greed outpaces logic and when the financial system loses sight of the real people building the economy.